Before we get started on today's morning briefing, don't forget if you're headed to Ensenada, you're going to want to give Zeke Casas a call. Only 15 minutes from downtown, but just check out that spectacular view while in Ensenada, Baja California Norte. And if that garage door is giving you a problem, then you're going to want to call your garage door man. That's Joe Welker. Tax problems? Nobody better than our friend Tim Marquez. Tim's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give the tax man a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to talk to our dear friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Hey, good Tuesday morning, my dear friends, and welcome to absolutely gorgeous, beautiful Surfside, California. This lovely Tuesday morning, I mean, it can't get any more beautiful than it is right now. It is gorgeous. The ocean is flat, calm. There's a lot of birds picking bait or maybe fry up here close to shore. Maybe you'll see that as we go through the morning briefing. And we have got a lot to cover with you. Some tremendous long-range fishing for the Royal Polaris and the Independence. Other guys arriving. It's sounding like it's continuing. Fantastic yellowfin and so much more. A big yellowfin down in Cabo San Lucas, but the weather's been a little windy and rough. We'll cover all of Baja California for you. A bluefin tuna taken just below Rosarito Beach. We'll have news on a fish out of Popotla, as that's awful close to home, and there's still bluefin tuna showing here and elsewhere. Man, it looks pretty darn good. And also we'll cover what's going on here in the local regions in Southern California and so much more. It's the year of the snake. It's Lunar New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Good morning. Let's get into the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, is that good? I almost screwed that all up. I'm so excited. It is so beautiful here this morning. Absolutely gorgeous. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. If you could subscribe to the Freedman Adventures YouTube channel, that would be fantastic. And also remember to tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. Also, you can follow us over on Facebook, on Instagram, also Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Let me put my foot in the water. Doesn't feel all that cold to me. Wayne Shimabukuro is right down here, Bolsa Chica, fishing as we speak. When I go into post-production on the morning briefing, I'll get you tuned up on what Wayne did if we have any information from him. All right, let's jump into it. It is Lunar New Year, and some of my friends in China and Vietnam and Taiwan and around the world are getting ready to celebrate. So I send you all my very, very best. Here in the United States, there's a lot of people who will be celebrating Lunar New Year. So again, all my very best to you. By the way, right now, there's a very important podcast we just dropped moments ago. You can go back and listen to it. My dear friend, Jim Hendricks from CCA, talking about the possibility, if we don't all get together and act here right now, of shutting down sand bass fishing here in Southern California this year. But there's something you can do. Please give that a listen. Also, some great information on the Star Tournament that CCA is putting on. Once again, that Star Tournament, the grand prize, a $60,000 Parker Center Council boat. It's beautiful. You can see it, by the way, starting Thursday at the hall shows in Long Beach. That starts up on Thursday through Sunday. Man, it's January, but there is a lot to talk about. All right, let's jump into it with you. Let's cover Mexico first of all, and then we'll get into some tremendous long-range fishing. We've got that bluefin tuna info to get over to you also. All right, down in Cabo, we've been dealing with some windier, rougher weather here recently, which makes going offshore a little bit difficult. And even the bait fishermen had trouble making a really consistent amount of live bait. They've picked off a few striped marlin down there. There's been a couple of dorado, but there's a lot of inshore fishing going on for smaller rooster fish, some yellowtail, other species along the beach there, and that's what they've been focused on. However, that didn't stop Gordo Banks Pongas from catching that 97-pound yellowfin tuna. So there are still some yellowfin tuna, and most of that you're going to find offshore about 20 miles. You're going to find those pods of dolphin, and mixed with them are the yellowfin tuna. And man, I'll tell you, if you get on the right bunch, you can make a catch. Most of the fish, the yellowfin tuna that is, seem to be in that 15 to 30-pound class. But we do see some bigger fish up over 100 pounds, and that nice 97-pounder right there. Mulegé, Loreto, we're seeing great yellowtail fishing in both those areas right now. Really been quite good in those areas for yellowtail. And as we move you up to San Quintin, they had a nice big bluefin tuna yesterday. K&M sport fishing, a fish over 100 pounds. So there's a little bit of bluefin there. There's also been some really good yellowtail action at times out of K&M sport fishing and other guys there in San Quintin. They've been doing really well on the yo-yo iron, and prolific rock fishing. A lot of big lings and, beautiful vermilion rockfish. That's been quite good. Now, 20 miles above there is an area that we call Punta Calinet. And Calinet, you can drive there and fish with the pongueros there. That's one option. Also, boats like the Tribute have been heading down there out of San Diego, and there's more trips this weekend coming up. And they've been putting the wood to the nice big fat lingcod. They've been really doing well on the vermilions, and there's salmon grouper, just great bottom fishing. They've been seeing some yellowtail, and to be perfectly candid with you, they're kind of surrounded by yellow, so it wouldn't surprise me to see some yo-yo iron yellowtail here very, very soon down there out of Calinet. So we'll continue to watch that for you on this gloriously beautiful morning. I mean, it is gorgeous. What a sunrise back behind me there, and it's just beautiful on the water. A lot of yellows. A lot of guys are catching them down there in Baja, as we mentioned, but we'll start catching a few here in SoCal. I think like La Jolla, Coronado Islands, there's been a few caught in that neck of the woods, so we'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very close. And of course, in Ensenada, 70 miles down below the border, we continue to see excellent rock fishing with some big bonito and occasional bites on the yellowtail also. It seems like the weekdays have been best in Ensenada for that yellow bite. Reason? Not that the fish have a calendar, they don't, but you get a little boat pressure down there on the weekends, and sometimes that will shove a good yellowtail bite down. Other times they'll bite right through it, but for the most part, weekdays have been pretty good, albeit inconsistent, on some big grade yellowtail. I mean, you don't see much under 18 pounds out of Ensenada, and some pushing 30 pounds. There's also been some incredible shows on gray whales down there, if you're into that kind of thing, and prolific, wonderful rock fishing going on down there in Ensenada. You can hardly beat that. Now, Popotla is a little area right there below Rosarito Beach. It's a great place. They have all kinds of dining and culinary experiences, and I just like walking around because the pongueros will come in the afternoon, and then they'll sell their catch to you. If you want some fresh fish, you struck out on your fishing trip, Popotla's a good place to go. But yesterday, out of Popotla, there was one bluefin tuna taken out of there yesterday, so that is really good news. Carlos Cortez, great captain, said, "Hey, Felipe, I was only 18 millas de Popotla. It was only 18 miles from Popotla yesterday, and made a catch of a bluefin tuna, which you're looking at right now." So nice going, Carlos, and perhaps a sign of things to come. Hopefully, we're going to see more of those bluefin tuna. As you know, we've had some San Diego boats out here recently, and only one fish was taken on the Old Glory. So we'll just have to hang on, wait, and see. And hopefully, it's going to get going very, very soon. Looks like an osprey is in here working the beach also. Looks like an osprey from here. Maybe you'll be able to tell behind me. And, I saw when I first came down here, other gulls and other sea birds were picking bait or something out of the surf. So looks like it's getting kind of active here. Maybe Wayne's going to have a good morning. We've got some good bar perch stuff heading your way also. All right, let's get in. Ooh, a little chill here. Let's get in to the long range situation because it is really phenomenal right now. In fact, the Independence, after a 3-day journey, these guys now, long range boats out of San Diego, are on these 16-day trips. And that means they run for 3 days to get down to areas like Hurricane Bank, where it's about 1,000 miles to get there. But boy, has it been worth it. It has been absolutely spectacular. The Independence on their first day started out fishing. It was wide open from the start, and they rode it out for the entire day. Tremendous fishing on 80 to 160 pound yellowfin tuna. There's some 200-pound fish splashed in there with it. There's been some wahoo down in that area also, but it has been spectacular. Great fishing going on board the Independence as they are having a dream start to their trip, and they've got a lot of days to go, and they're already started here this morning trying to make it happen. So great stuff indeed. Really loving what we saw there. The Royal Polaris yesterday, they put together a really nice day. Most of their fish, 100 to 160 pounds. Yellowfin tuna, they had some 70 to 80 pounders kicked in there, but the vast majority up over 100 pounds. I think they're well over 100 wahoo on their trip right now. So the Royal Polaris and the Independence showing us that this long range season just keeps trucking along. It has been fantastic. All right, so great long range fishing going on. It has been a spectacular season, and it's not slowing down at all. All right, let's get you up here into SoCal and talk about what's going on. First of all, up and down the coast, we're catching mostly sculpin and whitefish. There's a few bass, a few halibut also kicked in there. Well, we've been catching a lot of sculpin and whitefish. Rockfish season is closed here in Southern California until April, so we are on hold. You'll be able to take home sheephead in March. That will be back in and be legal again here in March. But for right now, a lot of sculpin, whitefish. Guys are fishing halibut. It hasn't been as good as it was at the very beginning a few weeks ago when the Native Son and some other guys started. But hey, things change on a regular basis, and I'm hoping to see the Native Son out of 22nd Street Landing tomorrow put together a good score. Out of Dana Wharf, they're fishing them down there in San Diego. They are also fishing for halibut. It has not been wide open, so dropping down to some lighter line will give you an advantage if you're on these trips. And I will define light line right now as 20 pounds. You can go 25, but you really don't need it. 20 will get you more bites, and I think you'll be fine with that. A number 1 J hook has been working well, and trapping the bait with a 6 treble hook has also been very effective. Torpedo sinkers on the Native Son at least, and for most places you want to have in the 4 to say 12 ounce like that, and you should be in really good shape. And choosing a good hot bait. I've been jumping up and down enough about that here recently. Choosing a good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. So make sure you continue to do that. It's gonna be beautiful at beautiful Catalina Island. You can see Cat back there behind me this weekend. It should be gorgeous. What a morning to be headed out to Catalina Island. In fact, there's been a lot of southbound gray whales headed down to the warm water lagoons of Baja California from the Bering Sea up there in Alaska. So I'm telling you right now, man, your ride over to Cat on the El Patron is going to be beautiful. When you get there, you got a chance at a white sea bass or halibut. It hadn't been wide open, but there's a few of those still there, and that could get really good in the coming months. Also, we have been catching a good amount of whitefish. Most cases, you're going to go home with plenty of really good eating whitefish, and there's been blue perch fishing that's been good. A few calico bass, not bad at all. So once again, there's some really good fishing, and you can get on the El Patron. There is a great boat waiting for you out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. Limited load, no fuel surcharge, special low price. It's really fantastic. You can go to www.longbeachsportfishing.org and get on the El Patron. So up and down the coast, we see a lot of that. There's also some sand dab fishing going on. The gentleman up there out of Cisco's has been doing the sand dab thing. The city of Long Beach has been teaming up with Young's Fishing Tackle in Bellflower, California. The great people at Young's. We love those guys. Kevin Kwan, Nick, and everybody over there. They have been catching copious amounts. I mean, you can catch 100 sand dabs per angler. More than that, because there's no limit on the dabs. They're really good eating, and you can just put the wood to them on multiple hook setups. So that sounds like fun to me, and that's been going along very, very well. Hey, I bet the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing, they're down in Newport Beach. I hope you caught that podcast I did with Daniel Hottaway, the captain. They got to be getting close to being all finished up down there. So it's almost time for me to go back down and check out the Island Spirit if she's going to be all spiffed up and ready for the coming season. And we're only a few weeks away from them running their trips out of Ventura. And if you book before April, like you go on their website, venturasportfishing.com, or you can give them a call at 805-676-3474. If you book before April, you just take 20% off the cost of a ticket. So find out what dates you want to go and book now, book early, and save 20% on your trips with Ventura Sport Fishing. That is a sage way to do business this year. Absolutely gorgeous, and by the way, perfect surf fishing conditions. We got our big surf fishing event coming up right here in Surfside, California on Super Bowl Sunday. It's plenty early before the game. We're going to start at 6:30 in the morning and fish till 9:30. That's 6 hours before game time, before kickoff. You get to come out here, experience this beautiful ocean on Super Bowl Sunday morning with all the gang from Freedman Adventures. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you are invited. If you need some details about that, just send me a text, and I will tune you up. Now, it's all weather dependent. We had to postpone our last day here, which was a mistake, by the way. I thought it was going to rain a lot harder than it did, and it really ended up being a lovely morning. But we watched the weather. If it is going to rain or be too windy, or we're going to have some kind of inclement weather, we'll postpone. But we're on Super Bowl Sunday right here. It should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to fish with you. Hey, there's been a few really good catches here on barred perch. I mean, it's been good. And I'm hoping that Wayne is doing well down at Bolsa Chica. Look at that sunrise. Wow. Is that gorgeous or what? And just like that, I've got an update from Wayne down there fishing Bolsa Chica. You can see he's catching some nice barred perch. Beautiful day, perfect conditions, a lot of action in the surf, and Wayne's got some nice barred perch. So we've got a few people. Down in San Diego, we've got David Castellanos. He's been catching good barred perch. Remember, cooler water, barred perch like the cooler water, as I can attest to right now because I'm in that cold water as we speak. So once again, there is a lot of nice barred perch around. Now, some days you catch these little mini perch, but guys have fun with that. You can catch them on bait, small plastic lures. I'm showing some of the lures that are effective. You get the bigger barred perch by throwing something like a Lucky Crab lure, a jerk bait like that can be really effective. San Lee up there in Northern California, somewhere up there, undisclosed, but man, did they put the wood to the big barred perch. 11 slabs, 11 big barred perch for those guys, as they did absolutely fantastic. So some great fishing there, no question about that, as it has been pretty good. Here in Surfside, we see some good perch fishing. At the time, we had an angler who was working the beach yesterday and had very slow fishing, so it's a little inconsistent. Up toward Seal Beach, we see a few halibut on the Lucky Craft type lures up there, and that should get better as we push into spring. And then up toward Ventura, there's been some good perch fishing going on there. Wow, it is so beautiful. If you get a chance, come on out for a walk or do some surf fishing. It is absolutely gorgeous, or plan a trip. And as I say, yesterday, Elisa Schulman-Janiger is a scientist who monitors the migration of gray whales as they head down the Baja coast and head first of all, through Southern California. They're coming from the Bering Sea, going to the warm water lagoons. She counted 11 gray whales yesterday, the best day of how many whales they've seen in a single day, 11. That was yesterday, so that is great news. Hey, Jim Payne took 3 kids fishing. They were fly lining night crawlers, and they came up with some really nice bass. And Jim said, Phil, they are hooked for life. And that's what I'm talking about, Jim, getting kids out into the great outdoors and having some fun. That's what it's all about. All right, my friends, it's been great spending time with you. It is the year of the snake. Happy New Year to all of you around the world celebrating Lunar New Year. Again, we're going to have our surf fishing day coming up. Oh, that is an osprey, by the way. Yeah, he's up there hitting the beach, and there's a lot of pelicans working the surf. Very active here this morning. Looks really interesting to me for some surf fishing, that is for sure. All right. Hit that like button. We deeply appreciate that. Watch the Jim Hendricks podcast. It's on right now. It's all about sand bass here in Southern California, what you can do to help make sure that that stays open. And the Star Tournament with CCA. You can win a $60,000 boat this year. And of course, we are covering everything in between. We'll be watching bluefin tuna for you and so much more. Hey, let me get out of this water, make my way up here with this gorgeous sunrise. It is so nice. Listen, if I don't see you down here for our surf fishing event, if I don't see you at the Bar Hall Show, don't forget that starts Thursday. You'll see me wandering around aimlessly. Make sure you say hello, as I would like to thank you for all your great support. Go back and watch Tackle Shop Confessions from last night. That was a fantastic show. Really a lot of fun, and some surprises about the Hall Show coming up that you'll learn about on that great Tackle Shop Confessions. The Danny Cadota Show is also up for you right now. All you do is go to live shows. When you get to our YouTube channel, just click on live and you'll see Danny and Tackle Shop Confessions. Have a great and beautiful Tuesday morning, and I hope to see you really, really soon.